They say he built pyramids, not of stone, of skulls, 70,000 human heads, stacked into towers, left as monuments to his wrath, in every city that dared resist him. Tonight we enter the blood-soaked world of Timur, known to history as Tamerlane, the Lame Conqueror. He wasn't Mongol, but he claimed Genghis Khan's legacy, conquered from Delhi to Damascus, built an empire on terror so absolute that mothers would threaten their children. Behave or Timur will come for you. This is not a story of heroes. This is a story of what happens when military genius meets absolute ruthlessness, when ambition has no limits, and when mercy is seen as weakness. 1336 Central Asia. The Chagatai Khanate, the Mongol Empire has fractured. Genghis Khan's descendants fight over the ruins. Into this chaos is born a boy, Timur, son of a minor noble, Tartar Mongol blood, but not royal, not descended from the great Khan. He grows up in a world where power is everything, where warlords rise and fall like desert sand, where yesterday's ally is tomorrow's corpse. Young Timur learns to survive, to fight, to scheme, to lead. In his 20s, he's already a warlord, leading raids, building a following. Then comes the moment that names him. An arrow pierces his leg, another wounds his hand. He survives, but barely. The leg wound never heals properly. He walks with a pronounced limp for the rest of his life. His enemies mock him, call him Timur Ilang, Timur the Lame, in Persian, Tamerlane. But the crippled warrior doesn't break. He adapts, learns to fight from horseback, turns his weakness into legend, studies the great conquerors before him. Alexander, Genghis Khan, the ancient kings. He reads everything he can find: military strategy, history, philosophy. Timur understands something crucial. He cannot claim royal blood, cannot say he's descended from Genghis Khan, so he'll do something else. He'll marry into the bloodline, become a Khan maker, rule through puppets, while holding all real power himself. 1370. They say he built pyramids, not of stone, of skulls, 70,000 human heads, stacked into towers, left as monuments to his wrath, in every city that dared resist him. Tonight we enter the blood-soaked world of Timur, known to history as Tamerlane, the Lame Conqueror. He wasn't Mongol, but he claimed Genghis Khan's legacy, conquered it from Delhi to Damascus, built an empire on terror so absolute that mothers would threaten their children. Behave or Timur will come for you. This is not a story of heroes. This is a story of what happens when military genius meets absolute ruthlessness, when ambition has no limits, and when mercy is seen as weakness. Central Asia. The Chagatai Khanate, the Mongol Empire has fractured. Genghis Khan's descendants fight over the ruins. Into this chaos is born a boy, Timur, son of a minor noble, Tartar Mongol blood, but not royal, not descended from the great Khan. He grows up in a world where power is everything, where warlords rise and fall like desert sand, where yesterday's ally is tomorrow's corpse. Young Timur learns to survive, to fight, to scheme, to lead. In his 20s, he's already a warlord, leading raids, building a following. Then comes the moment that names him. An arrow pierces his leg, another wounds his hand. He survives, but barely. The leg wound never heals properly. He walks with a pronounced limp for the rest of his life. His enemies mock him, call him Timur Ilang, Timur the Lame, in Persian, Tamerlane. But the crippled warrior doesn't break. He adapts, learns to fight from horseback, turns his weakness into legend, studies the great conquerors before him. Alexander, Genghis Khan, the ancient kings. He reads everything he can find: military strategy, history, philosophy. Timur understands something crucial. He cannot claim royal blood, cannot say he's descended from Genghis Khan, so he'll do something else. He'll marry into the bloodline, become a Khan maker, rule through puppets, while holding all real power himself. 1381 Timur begins his systematic conquest of the known world. First, Persia. The ancient kingdoms fall one by one: Herat, Isfahan, Shiraz. Some cities surrender. They're spared. Others resist. Isfahan resists in 1387. Timur's forces take the city. Then the population revolts, kills 3,000 of Timur's soldiers. Timur's response is immediate, systematic, horrific. He orders every citizen killed, 70,000 people, their heads severed, stacked into pyramids, each pyramid made of 1,500 skulls, cemented with mortar, arranged in neat rows outside the city walls. The message is received: no city revolts against Timur again. 1391. The Golden Horde, the Mongol successor state controlling Russia. Their Khan, Toktamish, was once Timur's ally. Now he raids Timur's territories. Mistakes. Timur invades Russia, defeats Toktamish in multiple battles, pursues him across the steppes, destroys every city that has supported him. The Golden Horde never recovers. 1398. India, the Delhi Sultanate, rich, powerful, unprepared. Timur crosses the Hindu Kush Mountains. His army faces war elephants for the first time. He responds by loading camels with straw, setting them on fire, stampeding the burning camels toward the elephants. The elephants break and run. Delhi's army collapses. Timur sacks the city, 100,000 prisoners executed in a single day. Because Timur fears they'll rebel during the occupation. Better to kill them all than risk losing control. But here's what makes Timur different from mindless butchers. He's selective in his destruction, kills the warriors and rebels, but spares the artisans, the craftsmen, the scholars, the architects. These he takes back to Samarkand to build his capital into the most beautiful city in the world. He's not just destroying civilizations, he's harvesting them, taking their best parts, leaving only graves behind. 1400. The Mamluks of Egypt, the Ottomans of Turkey, the Knights Hospitaller, all face Timur's forces. Syria falls, Aleppo, Damascus. The Mamluks lose their northern territories. The Ottomans, rising power of the Islamic world, meet Timur at the Battle of Ankara. 1402, Sultan Bayezid I. The Thunderbolt, never defeated in battle, faces the Lame Conqueror. Timur uses his standard tactics: intelligence, deception, superior cavalry, and something new. He bribes Bayezid's Turkic vassals to switch sides mid-battle. The Ottoman army disintegrates. Bayezid is captured. Timur allegedly keeps him in a cage, parades him like an animal. The Sultan dies in captivity. The Ottoman expansion halts for 50 years. But Timur isn't just a destroyer. In Samarkand, he builds. The architects captured from Delhi, the craftsmen taken from Isfahan, the scholars from Damascus, the tile makers from Persia, all brought to Samarkand, forced to create beauty. Timur builds mosques that rival anything in the Islamic world, gardens fed by sophisticated irrigation, libraries filled with captured manuscripts, observatories for astronomical research, the Registan, the Bibi Khani Mosque, the Gurg-e-Amir, monuments that still stand today. He brings scholars from across his empire, holds philosophical debates, discusses military strategy with historians, plays chess with grand masters. This is the paradox of Timur, a man who builds pyramids of skulls and architectural wonders of breathtaking beauty. He's illiterate, never learned to read or write, but he's educated, speaks multiple languages, understands politics, art, religion. He's a devout Muslim, builds mosques, supports Islamic scholarship, and a mass murderer, kills millions, destroys entire civilizations. He claims descent from Genghis Khan through marriage, never blood, creates elaborate genealogies connecting himself to the Great Khan, but everyone knows they're fiction. Timur doesn't need real royal blood. He has something more important, an undefeated army and a reputation so terrifying that his name alone conquers cities. 1404. Timur is 68 years old. His empire stretches from the Mediterranean to India, from Russia to the Persian Gulf, the largest empire since the Mongols. But it's not enough. He has one more conquest in mind, the greatest conquest of all, China. Ming Dynasty China, the most populous nation on earth, the most powerful empire in the world. Timur intends to invade it, restore Mongol rule, complete what Genghis Khan began. December 1404. Timur's army marches northeast, toward China, but winter is coming, the harshest winter in decades. The army reaches Otrar, Kazakhstan. Timur falls ill, pneumonia, complications from old wounds, or simply age catching up with a body broken by 40 years of war. For weeks, he lingers, refuses to turn back, insists the campaign will continue. February 18th, 1405. Timur dies in Otrar, never reaching China. The campaign ends immediately. His sons and grandsons immediately begin fighting over the succession. The empire he built through fear and military genius depends entirely on his personal authority. Without him, it cannot hold together. Within a generation, it fragments. The Timurid Empire becomes regional kingdoms, still culturally significant, but never again a world-conquering force. How many died because of Timur? Historians estimate 17 million people, 5% of the world's population at the time. Isfahan, 70,000. Baghdad, 90,000. Delhi, 100,000. Countless smaller cities completely erased. Entire regions depopulated. Some historians argue he set back civilization in Central Asia by centuries, destroyed irrigation systems that took generations to build, burned libraries containing irreplaceable knowledge, killed entire generations of craftsmen and scholars. Others argue he was a patron of culture, that Samarkand became a jewel of Islamic civilization because of him, that the Timurid Renaissance in art and architecture justified the bloodshed. The truth is darker than either version. Timur was both, builder and destroyer, patron and butcher, strategic genius and mass murderer. Not because he was insane, but because he was sane, calculating, practical, efficient. Terror worked. Cities that resisted were destroyed as examples. Cities that surrendered were spared, enriched, protected. The system was consistent, predictable, rational. Submit or die. And most submitted, which means most lived. Does that justify the millions who died? History doesn't give us answers, only questions. 600 years later, Timur remains a paradox. In Uzbekistan, he's a national hero. His statue stands in Tashkent, the founder of their civilization. In Iran, Iraq, India, Syria, he's remembered as a destroyer, the man who set entire regions back centuries. His descendants, the Timurids, ruled parts of Central Asia for another century. His great-great-great-grandson was Babur, who founded the Mughal Empire in India, which gave the world the Taj Mahal. Beauty from bloodlines of butchery. The monuments he built in Samarkand still stand. UNESCO World Heritage sites. Tourists photograph the blue-tiled mosques, the intricate geometric patterns, the architectural genius. Most never think about the hands that built them. Captured craftsmen, working under threat of death, creating beauty they would never see rewarded. Timur is buried in the Guri Emir Mausoleum in Samarkand, the city he made into his capital. His tomb bears an inscription, "When I rise from the dead, the world shall tremble." In 1941, Soviet archaeologists opened his tomb. ignored warnings from locals. 3 days later, Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union. The worst war in human history began. Superstition? Coincidence? Perhaps, but Timur's legacy is clear. Conquest built on terror is temporary, but the fear it creates lasts forever. Timur conquered more territory than any conqueror except Genghis Khan and Alexander. Built an empire that collapsed the moment he died, killed millions and created masterpieces. Claimed to be continuing the Mongol legacy, while never actually having Mongol royal blood. So I ask you, was Timur a great conqueror or a great destroyer? A builder of civilization or an enemy of it? A military genius or a war criminal before the concept existed? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to explore more stories of conquerors whose ambition reshaped the world, where strategy and brutality merged, where empires rose on mountains of skulls, subscribe to Dark Ages Chronicles. Because some men build monuments, and some men build pyramids of bones. Timur built both, and left the world to decide which mattered more.